Kaya pala, kapag may inilagay kang bagay sa ibabaw ng tubig, ay hindi agad ito nagsasubmerge. Dahil pala ito sa buoyant force na nadiskubre ni Archimedes at ipinaliwanag niya ito sa kanyang Principles of Buoyancy. Kung gusto mong malaman ang konseptong ito at matutunan kung paano mag-compute ng buoyant force, panoorin mo ang video ito. Learning! Good day everyone! Welcome to Sir Phax Learning Channel once again. Kumusta po kayo? Maraming salamat sa patuloy na pagsuporta sa learning channel na ito. For today's video, ang pag-aaralan po natin ay Archimedes Principles of Buoyancy. Tara, samahan niyo akong panuorin at alamin ang konseptong ito.
For today's video, ang pag-uusapan niya po natin ay patungkol pa rin sa fluid mechanics at nasa MELC number 27 na po tayo for week 6 pa rin. And our learning target for this video or concept is to apply the concept of buoyancy and Archimedes principle. So Archimedes principles is simply or stated that any object completely or partially submerged in a fluid experiences a buoyant force, which is equal in magnitude to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Any object, either submerged or partially submerged, ang sabi po ni Archimedes, that object will experience buoyant force equal to the magnitude of the weight of the fluid displaced. So yung buoyant force ng object na yan is equal to the displaced water, weight of the fluid which is displaced. Mathematically, buoyant force or F sub B is expressed as the mass of the fluid times the acceleration due to gravity. Since we cannot probably measure the mass of the fluid, we simply use here, or we simply get the density or use the density of the fluid. Yung mass po dito is equal to density times volume. Diba yung mass? From the expression of density, kukunin po natin itong formula ng mass. So that is, kung mass ang hinahanap natin, density times volume. Therefore, by substitution, we have now density of the fluid times the volume of the fluid times acceleration due to gravity. So that is buoyant force, which is, according to Archimedes, is equal to the displaced object. So, ano bang ibig sabihin niya ni Archimedes? So, ibig sabihin, yung buoyant force nitong boat, for example, or ship, kung ship man ito, yung action-reaction forces, nag-a-apply po dito yung action-reaction forces eh. Though, since we are talking about fluid, yung upward force here is the buoyant force. And that buoyant force is equal to the displaced water. Sabi po ni Archimedes. So here, sa ating expression, mathematical expression, FB is buoyant force or F sub B. M sub F is the mass of the fluid. Rho of F is the density of the fluid, and the V sub F is the volume of the fluid. Ito yung mga important points na dapat po nating tandaan in terms of Archimedes principles, specifically for an object which is fully submerged in fluid. Always remember that the displaced fluid is equal to the volume of the displaced fluid is equal to the volume of the object. For instance, the volume of this boat is equal to the displaced fluid nung si boat ay pumunta sa sea. Okay? Mathematically expressed as force of gravity is equals to the buoyant force. And sometimes we can also calculate buoyant force as weight in air minus weight in fluid. Okay? Let's proceed to our solving problem and exercises.
Okay, ang problem po natin for number 1 exercises is to calculate the buoyant force on a rock of mass of 50 kilograms and density of 2,500 kilograms cubic meter when fully submerged in water of a density 1,000 kilograms cubic meter. So, in solving problem, the first thing that we should do is to determine the given. Alamin po muna natin yung mga given. Sa rock, ang given po natin sa rock ay meron siyang mass na 50 kilograms. Ang mass ng rock is 50 kilograms. At ang kanyang density ay 2,500 kilograms. So, yung density ng rock is 2,500 kilograms per cubic meter. And then, another given is the density of water, which is constant. So, water density, which is equal to 1,000 kilogram cubic meters. 1,000 kilograms cubic meter. At ang tinatanong, once na fully submerged yung rock, usually naman daw, di ba, pag inilagay natin sa water yung rock ay probably fully submerged. Ang tanong, ano yung buoyant force ng rock? So, ang tinatanong sa atin is the buoyant force, F sub B, which is equal to density times acceleration due to gravity times volume. In this case, wala po tayong volume. Yeah, wala tayong volume. Kaya we need to determine the volume. So, paano natin makukuha itong volume? Balikan po natin yung formula ng density. Diba? Ang density is equal to mass over volume. Tapos, pag kinuha po natin yung formula ng volume by triangle method, kung yan ay naka-triangle, so pag volume, that is mass over density equals to, tama no, mass over density, mass over density. So, ang gagamitin nating mass dito is the mass of the rock, which is 50 kilograms. So, sa substitute lang natin 50 kilograms times the density of the rock, which is 2,500 kilograms per cubic meter. So, makakancel out ang kilograms sa unit. Therefore, divide 50 divided by 2,500. 50 divide 2,500, that is equal to 0.02 cubic meter. So take note, the unit measure of volume for solid is measured in cubic meter. So this is now our volume. Okay, so can we now solve our buoyant force? Yes, because we have already our density. Since we are talking about buoyant force, so the density that we will use here is the density of water times acceleration due to gravity of the earth. We assume that the case was happened in the earth times the volume na nakuha po natin. So by substitution, this is 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter times 9.8, which is constant, meters per second squared, times volume 0.02 cubic meter. Alright, so makakancel out po natin dito yung cubic meter na unit measure. So by multiplication, you have 1,000 times 9.8 times 0.02 equals 196. Your buoyant force is equals to 196 kilograms. That meters per second squared is equal to 1 Newton. So you have a unit measure of Newton. Okay? Okay, for problem number 2, a block of wood with the dimension of 0.12 by 0.34 by 0.43 cubic meters floats along a river with the broadest face facing down. The wood is submerged to a height of 0.053 meters. What is the mass of the piece of wood? So yung hinahanap po natin dito yung mass ng piece of wood. So tingnan po muna natin yung given. For our given in problem number 2, meron pang height pero meron siyang, ang wood is meron siyang volume na 0.12 times 0.34 times 0.43 cubic meter. That's the volume. So that is equal to, calculate nga natin muna yan, 0.12 times 0.34 times 0.43 is equal to 0.02 cubic meters. And then another given, height of submersion, which is ang height 0.053 meters. 0.053 meters. But since ang hinahanap po natin dito is mass of the piece of wood, so mass of piece of wood submerged for this height. So anong gagawin po natin with this problem? So if we will analyze the given problem, we're looking for the mass submerged in the water. We are looking for the mass of a piece of wood which is submerged in the water. Remember that the volume of the submerged object is equal to the displaced water. So therefore, in this problem, we will use the density formula. The density is mass per unit volume. Since we're looking for mass, therefore, mass is equal to density times volume. Okay? Now, for us to know the mass of the wood, we will use here the density of water. This is constant, 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter. Why we use the density of water? Since the wood, piece of wood is submerged in the water. So para natin malaman yung kanyang mass, probably malalaman natin by using the Archimedes principle. Okay? Times the calculated volume here, 0.02 cubic meter. Yan. So maka-cancelled out to. Therefore, by multiplication, 1,000 times 0.02, 1,000 times 0.02 equals 20 kilograms. So the mass of the wood is 20 kilograms. So this is mass of piece of wood. Okay? Ganyan lang kasimple rather yung ating computation.